So, good morning to my dear students. This is my third video of this second chapter. I will start my video from here. Smallness of cell, a greater efficiency. We have discussed earlier that the size of cell is very small. Now, why it is beneficial for the cell to have a small size? Let us see to it, my dear students. Cells generally remain small in size because of two main reasons. So, there are two main benefits. First is different regions of cell can communicate with each other rapidly for the cell to cell function effectively. So, my dear students, cells are very small, so they can communicate with each other very fast, rapidly. Clear? This is the first point. Then, my dear students, second one, cells have larger surface area. Cells have larger surface area volume ratio. Cells have larger surface area volume ratio, and this is helpful for diffusion. My dear students, this large surface area and volume ratio, it helps in diffusion of the substances from one cell to another cell, from one cell to another cell. Clear all of you? Next we will discuss. Next, my dear students, please see to this one. The larger surface area, look here, the larger surface area relative to volume of cell ensures greater diffusion of nutrients into the cell. So, due to this large surface area, the nutrients can be diffused easily. Then greater diffusion of nutrients into the cell. Then second one, you see, there is a greater diffusion of metabolic waste from the interior to the outside of the cell. Interior means from inside to out of the cell. Several waste products are being produced in the cell that are to be removed outside, and this larger surface area volume ratio, it helps in greater diffusion of metabolic wastes. Then next, my dear students, next is this one, third one, you see, greater diffusion of respiratory gases. It is important for the greater diffusion of respiratory gases. Oxygen goes into the cell and the carbon dioxide as a waste comes out of the cell. So, exchange of gases can be done easily. Every cell requires oxygen, and every cell it give out carbon dioxide also. So, diffusion and exchange of gases can be done easily. Then the last point, you see it, any damage to the cell can easily repair. So, due to greater diffusion, any damage is there in the cell, it can easily be repaired. It can easily be repaired. Clear all of you? It can easily be repaired. Then next, we will discuss the next, my dear students, we will discuss next topic, that is cell shapes. Cells are of different shapes. Cells may be disc-like, polygonal, rectangular, cuboid, thread-like, branched, or even irregular. So, there can be different shapes of the cell. Now, some of the shapes of the cell is being given here. Let us discuss them. Let us discuss them. See this one, human red blood cells, human red blood cell RBC. Actually, the blood of humans, it contains three type of cells: white blood cells, red blood cells and platelets. So, human red blood cells, they are circular and biconcave. All the students must remember these two words, circular and biconcave. So, human red blood cells, they are circular and biconcave. And what is the function of this red blood cells? They transport oxygen. This is the function. So, the shape of red blood cell is circular and biconcave, and the function is that they transport oxygen. They transport oxygen. So, that was about RBC that we have discussed just now. That is about the next, my dear students, just see to this one, white blood cells. Now, we will discuss this white blood cells. White blood cells WBC, they are amoeboid shape. Amoeboid shape. Amoeboid shape means the shape like amoeba. It means irregular shape. So, what is the shape of WBC? Irregular or amoeboid shape. Then nerve cells are long and they used to conduct impulses from different distant parts of body to brain and vice versa. So, my dear students, nerve cells are there which are very long. The long cells in our body are nerve cells which carry impulses. Impulses means messages from different parts of the body to the brain, or impulses from brain to different parts of the body. Next, my dear students, we will see this one, muscle cells. Muscle cells. Muscle cells are long and contractile to pull or squeeze the parts. So, muscle cells are also long, but they are contractile. It means they can contract and expand. Muscle cells can easily contract and expand. Next, my dear students, there are guard cells. Guard cells, they are present surrounding the stomata. Stomatal pore is present in the leaves. So, guard cells, they surround the stomatal pore, and the shape of guard cell is bean shaped. So, what is the shape of the guard cells? Bean shaped. And what is the function of these guard cells? They help in opening and closing of pore. It means they help in opening and closing of stomata. So, guard cells, they are present surrounding the stomata and they are of bean shaped and they help in opening and closing of stomata, my dear students. So, these were the different shapes which we have discussed just now, different shapes of the cell. Now, we will be moving to the next topic, my dear students. Next, my dear students, the next topic is structure of cell. The next topic, that is structure of cell. This is the next topic, structure of cell, which we have to study in very detail. If we just classify the cell, just see its different parts, we can divide the cell into mainly three parts. We can divide the cell mainly into three parts. First is cell membrane or plasma membrane, and second one is nucleus, and third is cytoplasm. So, if we broadly classify, if we broadly see the cell, then the cell, it consists of mainly three parts: cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. Cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. This cell membrane is outer covering. Cell membrane is outer covering of the cell, and nucleus is present inside the cell. Nucleus is present inside the cell, and then next we have cytoplasm, the jelly like substance which is filled between the cell membrane and nucleus, that is known as cytoplasm. Now, my dear students, in the cytoplasm there are different cell organelles. We shall discuss cell organelles also, but before that I want to show you the diagram of plant cell and animal cell. This is the diagram of plant cell and animal cell. This one, my dear student, this is the animal cell and this one is the plant cell. This the animal cell and plant cell diagram you have to draw in the notebook. So, the outer covering is present in both plant as well as animal cell, that is cell membrane, and nucleus you can see it is present in the center in the animal cell and in the periphery in the plant cell. Then cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is jelly like substance which is filled between the cell membrane and nucleus. Now, this cytoplasm contains several cell organelles. Several cell organelles. My dear students, one more thing I want to tell you. The plant cell contains one additional layer which is known as cell wall. Above the cell membrane, the plant cell contains one additional layer that is known as the cell wall. Clear? So, this is the cell wall. The cell wall is present only in plant cell and it is absent in the animal cell. It is absent in the animal cell. Then I told you just now, my dear students, that inside the cytoplasm there are cell organelles. Inside the cytoplasm there are cell organelles. Let us discuss them. Inside the cytoplasm there are several cell organelles. Most part of the cell have definite shape and definite structure and definite function, and such parts are called organelles. So, my dear students, cell organelles, they have got definite shape, definite structure and definite function. For example, in a cell there are several cell organelles like mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes and all many other cell organelles, endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? And many other cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm of the cell that we shall discuss in the next video, my dear students. So, that all the things we will be going on to discuss in the next video. Thank you everyone.